Hey, how's it going YouTube? This is SilverBeanie here, bringing you guys week 9 team builder for the UBL season 1. The Crystal Palossans this week are taking on the Calgary Flame Wheels and Coach Dubious. With a very scary team ahead of us and a very threatening offense. But we've done our best. We've done our best to build a team. We're going to talk you guys through it right now. But before all that, if you guys want to catch yourselves up on any of the previous UBL matches, make sure you do so. Playlist for the entire series is included in the description. But currently, spoiler if you missed last week's episode, but you've been warned now. But last week, we picked up another W, so we are now 4-4. We are doing incredibly well. Huge bounce back compared to where we were towards the start of the league. Like, we had 4 losses in a row, now we've had 4 wins in a row. Absolutely mind-blowing. It could all come to an end though this week. We are facing, as you guys can see over here, we have got an insane team up against us this week. Just talk you guys all through it. Up first, we've got a Manaphy. Manaphy is Dubious's dedicated Z-move user as well. Manaphy is just broken. Base 100 across the ball. It can be physical, it could be defensive, it could be special, it could be specially bulky, it could be all sorts. I am not looking forward to taking this thing down. As it also has its Z move, it can also use things like Z Tail Glow and like Z Surf or Z Energy Ball, whatever it wants to Z itself. It's going to be very scary to take down. Actually, if this thing gets a Tail Glow up, I have a suspicious feeling it may be game over. If this thing successfully gets a Tail Glow, because I don't have many things that can outspeed it. So. But I have things that can outspeed it, but I have a lot of things that can take it down, especially if it's bulky as well. So we got to get rid of this thing as soon as. Manaphy is going to be huge, very scary to take down. So hopefully it doesn't bring a bulky set, but we'll see. We'll see what it brings. Who knows? But if it's like Z Rain Dance and stuff, it's gonna be scary. It's gonna be scary. They've also got us on the Krosma, another incredibly scary mon. This thing is pretty bulky. Base 101 in defense, 89 in defense, special defense and 97 HP, and then 107 in its attack and 127 in its special attack. Speed's not crazy with the base 79, but it is pretty scary as an overall Pokemon. Could be typically is usually specially offensive, but there are defensive versions plus physical versions if you really wanted to go that far. But Photon Geyser is I believe it's obviously a signature move, but I think all the Necrotic forms get it. But Photon Geyser, well, they would do. Photon Geyser is a psychic stab. I think it's base 100, if I'm not mistaken, maybe base 110. But it becomes if your physical attack is higher than your special, then it becomes a physical attack. I think that's how it works. It's got a really weird mechanic, but again, another scary thing that I've just had to somehow try and prepare for. I've done my best. I think I've got counters, but it's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky to try and take these down. The Gonzels and the Alolan Ninetales as well. My old-time favorite Alolan form. I love this thing. Base 109 speed, 100 special defense, 81 special attack. Not very physically offensive or bulky, so I'm not enough to worry about there. Like 1 Iron Head, and even without any investments, it's just gone. The only main issue with this thing is obviously it's most likely going to be Snow Warning, but if this thing successfully gets into a Roarveil, then we're going to be in trouble because it'll more likely last 8 turns due to the light clay, and it's going to be like serious issues because it reduces all of our attacks by I think by like 50%, which is going to be very difficult. So I cannot let this thing get a Roarveil up. It'll be very crucial that we don't let this thing get a Roarveil up. Otherwise, in terms of taking it down, I'm not too worried. I'm more worried about him getting the Roarveil up, because if he gets the Roarveil up, then that's a game changer, 100% game changer. So we've got to make sure that he doesn't get that up. He's got a Cobalion as well. Cobalions I think is his only Steel type. Yeah, his only Steel. Fighting Steel justified. Cannot let knock off this thing. For knockoff, justified boost. So gotta be careful with that. But base 91 HP, 90 attack, 129 defense, 90 in its special attack, 72 in its special defense, and 108. So overall, it's got really good stats. Typically, these are normally physically offensive, but there are special versions available because it does get things like Calmine, Volt Switch, things like that. So you do have that option. But Swords Dance, Iron Head, Close Combat, usually pretty standard with Cobalion. I'm not too worried about this thing. I'm more worried about just like I want to know what kind of spread it is. Once I know what kind of spread it is, I've got a counter one way or another. But it's just finding out quickly what kind of set it is. and not letting them get adjusted by boost. So I've got to be careful with my knockoffs. Got to keep an eye out for those. Also, we've got our Flygon. Flygon is by far my favorite Pokemon of all time. I love this thing. Favorite ground type, easily. Base 80 in its HP, defense, special attack, and special defense, and then base 100 in its speed and attack. Amazing. This thing finally got Dragon Dance, I believe in 7th gen. But things like Outrage, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, U-Turn, pretty standard stuff. Got to keep my eyes out for it, because this thing obviously with Levitate as well, it can take hits very well. So obviously, you know, I've got to keep my eyes open out for this thing. But again, I've got several counters, so I'm not too worried about it. Mega Pidgeot. Now, Mega Pidgeot was one that I had on my sort of radar when I was drafting. But Mega Pidgeot is pretty scary. Base 121 speed, base 135 special attack, 18 pretty much everything else. So in terms of taking a hit, Mega Pidgeot doesn't do too well. The one thing that's really like both good and bad with Mega Pidgeot is it gets no guard. No guard being its ability basically means regardless of what move it uses or your opponent uses, it's guaranteed to hit. I didn't actually think up until now it didn't actually register in my mind. If any of my Pokemon do, I may adjust the team slightly. But if I'm up against a Mega Pidgeot, I can use a one-hit KO move, guaranteed kill, guaranteed. It has no choice. So I might, if any of my Pokemon learn a one-hit KO move, I might adjust the team slightly. I didn't actually think up until now. I don't think it does, but it does. I may do. More likely I won't, but hey, I may do. But Hurricane's typically what this thing just usually runs, and just literally just Hurricane and Heat Waves everything to death. So that's gonna be annoying. But I've got counters for it. It's got a Zoroark as well. Zoroark is a bit annoying. 105 speed, 120 in special attack, 105 in attack. Normally, like defense-wise, it can't really take a hit. Not really at all. But Zoroark's tricky to prepare for because obviously, due to its illusion ability, whatever Pokemon is the last slot on your party is the Pokemon that it becomes basically the illusion of. We've got to keep an eye out. Typically, Zoroark is a good lead because it kind of gets you, gives your opponent, like throws your opponent off a little bit, and it gives you a chance to kind of get some idea of what kind of set your opponents bring in. So Zoroark's a bit tricky, but I've got a few counters to work around it. So overall, I'm not too worried. It's got a Quillfish. Quillfish, I'm not too worried about. I'm more worried about Intimidate, which is more likely what he'll bring. But overall, I'm not really worried because an Earthquake's going to destroy it, a Thunder's going to destroy it. Overall, I'm not really worried about the Quillfish, but you know, Liquidation, Poison Jabs, it could set up some spikes if it wants to. But overall, I'm not really worried about the Quillfish. Kecleon is going to be annoying. I'm not so worried about taking it down just because it's quite bulky. Base 16 HP, which is not really much, but 17 defense and 120 in its special defense. On the special side, its defense is crazy. So I've got to be careful with the Kecleon and trying to work around it because obviously it gets protein, so whatever type its move is the type it becomes on that turn of attack. So we've got to keep our eyes out for this thing, but obviously usually these things are Shadow Sneak, Drain Punch, Knock Off, things like that. So again, I can work around it. I've just got to make sure I keep an eye out on the type it becomes in between turns. Ludicolo is another one that's a little bit annoying. Grass, Water type, bulky, pretty bulky overall. Normally just, you know, Scald, Giga Drain, Ice Beam, maybe Rain Dance if you want to run Swift Swim, Rain Dance, Surf, things like that. The annoying thing is with this is that if it is rain, it does become, I think, the fastest thing on the field because speed doubles in the rain. And it's got a few Swift Swim users as well, because I'm pretty sure the Quillfish gets Swift Swim. Yes, it does. And then he's got Hydration on the Manaphy. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does bring rain. Plus, he's got obviously the Hurricane on the, not that that wouldn't hit anyway. So you get what I mean. He's got some pretty interesting team. But last but not least, though, we've got Dusknoir. This thing's just bulky. I think this is his most bulkiest Pokemon. But base 135 in both defenses. HP wise is non-existent, so you know I'm not too worried about that. And then we'll base 100 attack. It's very slow, but obviously usually these in Frisk, leftovers like bulky and things like that. Shadow Sneak, Ice Punch, Earthquake, things like that, just to kind of get an idea for your opponent's sets and try and wither your opponents down. But I have got a few counters for this thing. So overall, he's got a pretty bulky team and pretty offensive team. A pretty good mixed team. One thing I noticed though about this team more than anything is this team is heavily like sort of backed on special attackers. He's got what? Let's say standard. Obviously, if you want to run a mixed like special set, then obviously it's different. But standard attackers, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 special attackers, and then one could be mixed, and then the rest are pretty much kind of more aimed physical. Depends on what you want to do. But he's got about 6 or 7 special attackers guaranteed. So half his team already is a special attacker, over half his team. So in that situation, a lot of in terms of defense, a lot of it has gone into my special attack. I have got some physical attack across some of my team. A majority of it is in its special. So I'm going to tell you guys through my team. You can see most of it. You can see Mr. Gold up front here. Our Crocodile, rocking that choice scarf as normal. I decided to run Moxie this week because I want to try and get some revenge sweeps. Because they've got a lot of Pokemon that can like pretty much get one shot down. You know, if I can get a free switch into Mr. Gold and win a Pokemon that's on very little health, just get a nice little revenge sweep and then get a Moxie boost and maybe do some more damage on something else that pops in. But Earthquake knockoff, Stone Edge, and Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks, really, I need to get up. I brought Stealth Rocks last week. I didn't even use them. I want to bring Stealth Rocks again this week, and I want to get them up. If I can get Rocks up, then the game does change. The game will change if I can successfully get Rocks up. Obviously, we are scarfed, so I've got to be careful about it. So I really need to try and do it in a free turn. But I'm not too worried. I reckon we can try and get around it. Because my biggest issue is I reckon a lot of his Pokemon have got Volt Switch, U-turn. Between the U-turn on the Zorog, on the Flygon, and on the Pidgeot. That's just off the top of my head. And then he's got Volt Switch on the Cobalion. I don't know about anything else that gets those kind of moves, but he's got at least 4 switches around. So I could try and keep him from just keep switching his team around. So Stealth Rocks would be amazing. And then we got a bit of a mixed kind of spread. 76 in his speed, 164 in his special defense, and then 2 max attack. And then just a little bit in defense. The speed stats actually guarantees that with the Choice Scarf, I outspeed anything and everything on his team, barring the fact that they don't have a Choice Scarf of their own. I guarantee outspeed the the Pidgeot, which means on a turn I can come in, I can use Stone Edge. Because of the fact that the Pidgeot's got no guard, I guarantee to hit, potentially maybe knock on wood, get a crit. That thing's gone. So that would be awesome, and I've got a few obviously other things to kind of counter it around it. We've also got Red Storm. Red Storm is our beautiful shiny Mega Gyarados returning with the Crunch, Earthquake, Iron Head, and Dragon Dart. I didn't see the point of me bringing a Water type move this week. He's got too many Water types himself, plus he hasn't got any Fire types, so the only thing that would really be anything good against is probably Pidgeot. Maybe that's about it. Like it wasn't worth it. Crunch seemed far more efficient because it can it's guaranteed to a KO against the Necrozma, and it can, I think, 3-hit KO the Dusknoir. Earthquake's there for pretty much everything else, and Iron Head guaranteed one shot, just gone. The Ninetales, and then obviously Dragonite if we can get a free turn. A bit of speed investments, so it's guaranteed a max attack. A little bit of special bulk so we can live. I think it's so I can live. What was it? Oh yeah, it was so I can guarantee to live at least 2 Dazzling Gleams from an Alolan Ninetales. So a bit of bulk around, but I'm very excited for Red Storm to come through once again. We've also got Destiny, Tapu Fini, once again rocking that Assault Vest as it did last week. Absolute MVP from last week's match, rocking Moonblast, Ice Beam, Knockoff, and Shadow Ball. I love me a Knockoff Tapu Fini, it's such a good set. This week, mainly on the bulky side, max HP, and then 156 in defense and 100 in special defense. It can pretty much live within reason anything from anything, at least once, and the Moonblast, Ice Beam, or Shadow Ball will at least 2-hit KO something to an extent. So overall, we've got a very nice set that's can pretty much handle and counter most things. So I've got some preparations. So we also got Gasteric. Now Gasteric has recently become, I think, the entire team's MVP without question. Gasteric recently has just been tackling and just abominating. Abominating, is that a word? Just literally been obstructive on everything. Thunder, Volt Switch, Bug Buzz, and Hidden Power Ice this week. Classic Life Orb, max special attack, max speed, timid nature. We are literally revenge killing. I need to keep Gasteric back as long as possible. Get a Hidden Power Ice, I can revenge kill and just just destroy the Flygon. A Thunder guarantees to kill the Pidgeot. The only issue is with the Pidgeot is that it guarantees outspeeds me. So I do need to kind of get an idea of what kind of spread it is. If it's not max speed, we'll be okay. But more than likely it will be. I mean, why would you not? But I've got to be careful because the Pidgeot with one Hurricane guarantees to OHKO. Guarantees. I was thinking about maybe running Ochre Sash, but I think he's just got too many things that can kind of counter it and get around that. So I was like, nah, Life Orb, max damage, get him out. So fingers crossed we get down the Pidgeot before Gastort needs to come out, because otherwise, if we can get rid of that Pidgeot, then the rest of the team is history. Because we can literally just tackle, take down anything and everything. Bread Knife is once again making a return this week as well with that EVLI, as if he's holding anything else. Shadow Sneak, Shadow Claw, Iron Head, and Sword Stance this week. So I'm not bringing Sacred Sword, instead we're bringing that Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw is a guaranteed 2-hit KO on that Necrozma after a +2. Guaranteed, without question. It ain't living. And there's a 3-hit KO on the Dusknoir. So if I can get Sword Stance off, again without any investments, Sword Stance, gone. That Ninetales is in history. Pretty much max special, HP, sorry. Max special defense, like across the board, max special defense, and then just a tiny bit in its defense. But overall, it can live anything. The only physical offense that I've really got to be careful about is the Flygon, because I can only take one Earthquake, and then I can't do anything back really. So that's the only issue in terms of physical that I've got to worry about. Otherwise, everything else, I'm eating it alive. And the last but not least, we are bringing back Lunosis. Lunosis, our beautiful shiny Cresselia. Holding the leftovers with the Moonblast, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, and Calm Mind. Rocking a max defense, max HP, and then just the odd 4 in special defense. This thing is my physical wall. It's designed to counter things like the Cobalion and the Flygon. Ice Beam, Flygon's gone. The Cobalion does it a little bit trickier, but I think 3 Moonblasts it guarantees to kill, and the Cobalion doesn't even 4-hit KO me, so depending on obviously how much sort of investments it's had. So overall, I'm pretty much covered in that situation. Overall though, you know, we've got counters to cover each Pokemon. One thing I did notice once I finished building this team is that it's the exact same team we bought last week. Obviously our moves and sets and spread and things have changed, but the Pokemon themselves are the exact same as last week. But I just think compared to the rest of my team, like once again, Chandelure is not coming this week. I just thought with Chandelure, as brilliant as it is, you've got too many water types and too many big heavy hitters. And Chandelure just didn't. I just don't think Chandelure cut it this week. I really wanted to bring Exploud. I was so close to bringing Exploud, but again, he's got too many fast heavy hitters that just outspeed me and one-shot me. Komodo, I was really like, it was between Komodo and Cresselia. I was so close to bringing Komodo. Like I literally built a team, built a set ready with Komodo, and then literally like about 5-10 minutes afterwards, I changed it. I put Cresselia on. But Komodo, I was going to bring Komodo. I was going to bring, I think it's with the Payapa Berry, which basically guarantees that I can live any psychic type move, just half damage. So that was kind of my thoughts, my mindset. But I just thought Cresselia works too better. It works too much. Like it's so much better. But yeah, and everything else like Cradily, I just didn't see the point. Like as much as I would like to get Cradily for rocks and stuff, I just didn't see the point this week. But overall, that's our team. I hope you guys, enjoyed this team builder. Let me know who you think is going to be our MVP for this week's match. Match of which will be going up tomorrow, so make sure you guys come back and stick around for that. Smash that like button though if you guys are hyped and you are supporting your Crystal Palossand. And we are going to make our way to the top. We are very close. We are now this is week 9. We've got week 10 and then our week 11. After week 11, depending on how these next 3 weeks go, it may depend on if we make playoffs. At the moment, we're not going to. I think if we can win 2 more matches, then I think we may make playoffs, depending on what everyone else does. So we'll see what happens. But it'd be amazing if we could. But we shall see. We shall see. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, morning, evening, night. But my name is SilverBeanie, and I'll catch all your beautiful people next time.